And now we are going to get into Gemini 3.1 Pro. Okay. So if you guys did not notice, I believe this was sometime last week or either early this week or sometime last week. I want to say even a couple of weeks ago. But Gemini 3.1 Pro came out. Before that, we had Gemini 3 Pro, and this is supposed to be a step forward in world knowledge. So let's explore the capabilities, the performance, the benchmarks, and everything like that around this model, and let's see exactly how it performs inside of Gemini when I give it these tests that I'm gonna give. And yeah, let's just see how it's going to perform. So a smarter model to help you learn, plan, and build like never before. Partner with a pro with state of the art reasoning capabilities. Okay, so reasoning with unprecedented depth and nuance, advanced multimodal understanding. Our best model for vibe coding and agentic coding. So shout out to all the vibe coders. If you probably already tried this model, but improved agentic capabilities. And I've been using Gemini 3 Pro 3.1 Pro as my OpenClaw main model because it's been finding an OpenClaw model that actually works. If you're not using Opus 4.6 or at least a Sonnet 4.6, you're not really going to get the most out of OpenClaw. So I've been using 3.1 Pro inside of that, and it's been really, really good. Compared to Opus 4.6, I would just say the only thing is that Gemini, while in the past it was more of a human type of tone, now it's not as much like that compared to Claude. So Claude has a much human tone, a much more human-like tone. So that's something that I've definitely saw. But transform real-time data into stunning interactive visualization. So that's pretty cool. That Earth, if it actually made that Earth, that's pretty cool. Simulations, complex environments, lightweight, scalable animations directly into your code base. Okay, cool. Complex literary themes into functional code and sleek contemporary interfaces. That's very cool. Okay, so we can use Gemini 3.1 Pro in Google Antigravity. If you don't know what that is, I'll show you guys what that is really, really quickly because we're actually going to be using this later in the stream. This is Antigravity. It is Google's IDE. And the main thing that people talk about with this is the agent. So the anti-gravity agent, basically, you can pick which model it uses. We have 3.1 Pro inside of here, of course, and 3 Flash and Opus and Sonnet. And, you have rate limits with those depending on your plan. But the agent manager allows you to run a multitude of agents in parallel. Let's say I want to work on my company website, then I want to work on my passion project, then I want to work on my client website. If I want to do all of that at the same time, I can, and I can do that inside of Antigravity. So Gemini 3.1 Pro high and low is available inside of Antigravity. You can also use it inside of Google AI Studio. So Google AI Studio is basically the AI playground for Google. Let me go back to the dashboard, switch accounts. And this is where you can access literally every model. And be sure to watch our last video that actually it just posted before we went live. We explored Nano Banana 2, and you guys will be surprised about the test between Nano Banana Pro and Nano Banana 2. So definitely check that out. But AI Studio is where you can utilize pretty much every model. If you enter Playground, over here on the side, you have this model picker, and you got 3.1, 3 Pro, Nano Banana 2, Nano Banana Pro, 3 Flash. So you can test all of the models that you want to test in here. Be mindful that this is either going to use your quota or it's going to use your API key which is paying money. So keep that in mind. But you can also use it through the Gemini API. So if you are using OpenClaw, I've already added Gemini 3.1 Pro to my OpenClaw. Just tell it to open or add Gemini 3.1 and give it the model name and give it the provider, which is Google, and you'll be able to use it inside of there. But let's get into these benchmarks, man. This is my first time seeing these. And it's looking kind of crazy already. Okay, so these are the benchmarks, and right off the bat, we got humanity's last exam is a 44.4. Okay, Opus 4.6 is a 4.0. Okay, and Gemini 3 Pro is a 37.5. So it's top in the world in that sense, but when it comes to search and code, it is beaten by Opus 4.6. So Arc AGI, it got a 77.1, which is kind of crazy. 77.1 is very, very high. Gemini 3 Pro got a 31.1, and that's on thinking high. And realize this is not a Gemini 4. This is a Gemini 3.1. Okay, so they absolutely blew it out the water. But Opus 4.6 is next up with a 68.8, which is about 10 lower. So scientific knowledge 94.3, which pretty much every model is getting about a 90 in that. Terminal bench, this is one that we want to pay attention to. Terminal coding, so 68.5, while Opus 4.6 got a 65.4. 5.3 codex, other best self-reported hardness, terminal bench 77.3. That's interesting. Okay, so we have more agentic coding. It is beaten by Opus 4.6 by 0.2. So that's not too much. But, you know, these have always been the models that people are looking at. Opus 4.6 and whatever Gemini Pro is out. And the other one that we care about is, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it that we care about. So it's in the lead in a few things. Opus 4.6 is in the lead in a couple things. And we can see the model information. If you do want to add, let me see the model card so I can get you guys the model name and stuff like that. We can do this one. All right, so right here, if we go 3.1 Pro, if you guys put this model name inside of your OpenClaw and you say add this model from the Google provider, it'll go ahead and add 3.1 to your OpenClaw so you can utilize it. But next, we are going to get into testing it out. So we can try it out inside of Gemini if we go to Pro. So it's advanced math and code with 3.1 Pro. And the first thing that I want to test this out with is a simulation. So one thing that I've been experimenting with is OpenClaw, and the more tasks that I get it to do, or the more cron jobs that I set up, it kind of gets like this mass neural network that is sending things and bringing things in. So I wanted to get a visual of this. So I created this prompt to be able to do that. Code a visualizer that shows neural networks, which of OpenClaw agents and its sub agents, or showing the task from the main agent to the sub agents, and an animation showing outgoing or incoming data. I want to be able to add up to 100,000 sub agents, or just have one, because some of the larger setups that you guys are going to see this year from people are going to be running thousands of sub agents, thousands. You know, you may have 50 main agents or 10 main agents, and then you have a bunch of sub agents under them. Make it simple enough to be able to let people see how many tasks are actually happening when they say they want a comprehensive OpenClaw setup. So that's the real reason for this. I wanted to kind of get a price for it as well, because I'm about to make a video on this, which is basically going to go over the pricing of OpenClaw, because it gets expensive. I'm telling you guys, it gets super, super expensive. So, it's definitely not something to play with when it comes to OpenClaw, the pricing. So especially when you're running a bunch of sub agents, like, yeah, it's not getting all the context, but it's still spending money. So keep that in mind. But when we say code a visualizer, this is most likely going to use the canvas. So we didn't choose canvas. If it doesn't use the canvas, then I'm just going to run it again and do it. But one of the things that I've been noticing about these newer models is that it's taking a bit longer, and I really appreciate that. I like the fact that things will take longer and actually give me a better result, because when I'm using a Gemini 2.5 Flash, or when I'm using a Haiku, it is literally like, it doesn't work. When it comes to function calling, when it comes to tool calling, it just doesn't work. So having these better models to be able to do stuff is cool. Okay, so it did not do it inside of Canvas, but this is what we're gonna do. At the front, I'm gonna say, actually, we're just gonna turn on Canvas right here. Turn on Pro and Neural OpenClaw, showing outgoing. Okay, bam, let's do that. Let's do that. So now it should use the canvas, which canvas is how you're able to see a preview inside of Gemini. You'll be able to see the code and then the preview, kind of how you have in an IDE. But did they give any examples in here, like any prompts in here to try? Did they? I don't think they did. Huh. They didn't give any prompts in here to try. Do they have documentation? Developer docs, Gemini API 3.1 Pro. No prompting stuff, I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm not sure. But in addition to what we talked about, 1 million context, which we love the large context, and it's just great for agentic things, and that's why Antigravity is literally super powered, which honestly we could do this really quick. So I am going to get Gemini 3.1 Pro to remake this entire website. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like right now. Right here. So this is the website right now. It is a medical website, kind of simple, kind of bare. Like it's cool, but it's not cool. So what we're gonna do is get Antigravity to do this for us. And what we're gonna do is go to high. We're gonna go to plan. We're gonna go look at. Actually, we could talk to it. We could talk to it. I want you to analyze this entire website UI and UX experience, and I want you to overhaul it to make it much more polished, look much better, and function much better. But I want you to keep all of the copy the same and things of that nature. I want this to be a complete overhaul, so it should be global and not just one single page. Okay. I want you to analyze. Am I talking out loud? Am I talking out loud? That's crazy. Okay. Bam. We send that. And now we're going to go back over to Gemini, and we have our visualizer. Look at this. So this went ahead and coded out a visualizer, massive scale handling. So 1 to 100,000. Adaptive rendering, when you have fewer than 2,000 nodes, it draws detailed connections and pulsing glowing dots. As you push it intelligently, switch to a high performance particle renderer. Okay, so that's pretty intuitive right there. When it comes to the actual rendering of this stuff, it's rendering in a different way when it gets to larger quantities. Real time traffic animation, interactive camera. You can drag the canvas to pan around. OpenClaw theme. I matched the UI to standard OpenClaw terminologies. Wow. Okay. So this is the code. Just one file. We got this. So we have this slider right here, which allows us to increase the number of subagents. So we got 12 right there. And then we got task throughput. So how many tasks are we giving this thing? If it's medium, then medium is stream, gateway task, data packets, and we could turn this all the way up if we want to. But we can pan, we can drag, and we can adjust the subagent. So on average, I think most people are going to be having about 12 subagents and maybe like 3 regular agents. But for my setup that I have right now, I have 3 other agents compared to my main agent. So I have my main agent, and then I have my other agents that it's talking to. And this is really letting me see, okay, when I'm giving a job to my orchestrator agent, it's communicating to them in this way and they're sending it back this type of way. That's what this visualizer was for. So fun little experiment. Gemini 3.1 Pro is supercharging pretty much every Google app now. So Stitch, Whisk, Flow, all of them are getting upgrades with Gemini 3.1 Pro. And we actually have a video coming out tomorrow talking about Google Opal. So cool. So it built this out in not too much time. Now let's check on our website. So it has begun running, and hopefully we do not hit our rate limits. That would not be favorable. So it's changed out the UI. It wants to go premium, is to completely overhaul to a state-of-the-art premium aesthetic while preserving all existing copy colors, deepening the navy for richer contrast, components transitioning from basic cards to elevated glass morphic cards. Oh my goodness. Introducing smooth entrance animations and animated gradient backgrounds, upgrading sections to use modern grid systems like bento layouts. Okay, cool. It sounds like it's gonna do a lot of good stuff. We got the global CSS, we got the tailwind, we got the header and the footer. It's gonna modify the page.tsx, and we're gonna get a product. But if you are new to vibe coding, Antigravity is one place that I would recommend you go first. Like, Google Antigravity is literally the easiest way to be able to build apps, because this is what you could do. You can say open recent, actually you can say open folder. Is this going to open in the same workspace? You can say open folder, and let's say you create a new folder, clear project. Okay, you can open this new folder. It's going to open in a new window. I know this thing did not just close. Oh wow. Okay. So our agent is still running, I believe, but it stopped. Oh man, that's not good. Let me see. Open editor. Where's right here? It's supposed to be right here. So I guess I stopped it accidentally. Let me see. I'm gonna say continue. But you can have these two open and working at the same time. It's just I did it the wrong way. I did it the wrong way. I should have opened a new window and then went back. So we have that going, but you can open this new project right here and you can say this is a clear project folder. I want you to build a one-page HTML site from scratch showcasing XYZ. Okay. And you can literally get a nice website just from this. You can get pretty much anything. As long as you know what you're looking for, you can literally get anything from this stuff. So we are just gonna close this. We're gonna close that. Open this, and hopefully it's gonna continue. So when that finishes, we will look at the product, and I'm very eager to see what this is gonna do because it sees that it's a medical website and it sees that it's for seniors. It didn't say anything about that, but whatever. Let's see what it's thinking about. Now focus on the home page overhaul. Next phase. All right, bam. So it's editing the page. Took away a bunch of stuff. Implementation plan. Task. Where's task at? Implementation. Yeah, man. But what are you guys working on? Are you guys in the middle of any exciting AI projects, or is this kind of like a stagnant time for AI? Or I think it's not. I think this is literally the best time to be building anything. Vibe coding. I mean, everything has free uses and stuff like that. So I just feel like, you know, if you're not using AI at this point and you're just sitting on the sidelines and you're scared, I don't know what to tell you anymore. I could just showcase the power of this stuff and showcase exactly what this is, but if somebody's scared, I can't really help that. But let's let this do its thing and we will be back in a second. So they have two new things inside of Gemini that I see. Goal scheduled actions, testing mode for goal based scheduled actions. This is a testing mode designed for executing tasks that require planning and timed execution to meet a specific outcome. Instead of just generating a text response, this mode allows the AI to set a goal and then schedule a sequence of actions over time to achieve it. Think of it as the model acting more like an autonomous agent that doesn't just talk but actually manages a process or triggers tools on a schedule. Since it's in testing phase, it's likely meant for more complex workflows where you want the system to handle follow-ups or background tasks without you. Okay. What would be an example of use? Like, would I set this email up to haggle over email? I feel like the inevitable consequence would be a bunch of AI ending up deadlocked. Automates prompts to run at set times or intervals, performs tasks such as summarizing emails, providing news updates, or generating content. So the goal scheduled actions is basically kind of like an agent, but scheduled. So you can say, get this done for me. Let's test it out. Okay. Let's test this out. Go. Hold on. Should I do something like every time I I post a YouTube video, I want you to create a blog post about it and email it to goal scheduled actions. Got it. I've scheduled that for you. Check for any new YouTube videos I have posted. If there is a new video, create a blog post. It doesn't have all of the information it needs to do this. Check for any new YouTube videos. Like, is it going to send me a prompt asking me for any new YouTube videos? Like, let me ask it. Let me just ask it. Do you need my channel URL? Do you need my channel URL? Yes, please provide the best way to show checking account. /@DeloBrands. If you are not subscribed to @DeloBrands, make sure you are subscribed to @DeloBrands. Okay. Whenever a new video is posted, item in the job post, send it over. Once I see your most recent upload was about OpenClaw. It looks like a fascinating look. Since I've already set up the daily check, I'll start looking for new uploads from this point forward. Will that? Yes. Yes, do that. So I'm guessing that, wow. Deep dive into OpenClaw. Okay, so that's not correct. That is not correct. So you're using OpenClaw wrong if you don't use Telegram. So I guess it didn't actually look at the transcript of it. So I'm not sure how good this is. We'll probably explore this more in another video or when I, figure out more about it offline. But is our thing done? No, it's still not done. It's going through some errors. Okay. So that's a new feature, but also music inside of Gemini. So they have these cool templates or tracks that you can remix, but you can also type something in here. So let's say we want an intro song for Aiducate. Create a tech and futuristic intro jingle for an AI YouTube channel called Aiducate. So let's see. All right, we just got notified that our agent is done on Antigravity, and we are now about to check out some music from this. So bam, look at all these changes. Look at all of these changes, man. And now we're going to say to Gemini 3 Flash, start locally and open it for me to see. Okay, we could do this ourselves, but we're just gonna get that thing to do it. Whatever. npm run dev localhost browser launcher. Bam. I did not open that, guys. I did not open that. Okay. Bam. Okay. So this is the website that it adjusted to. Definitely looks much more futuristic, if anything. Kept the same layout for the hero section. Let's just stop it and scroll down. So much more laggier. So definitely a much heavier website to load and run on your computer. But it does have animations. This isn't something that seniors would be able to use easily though. Like it's more stuff. It looks nah. I don't think it did it. I don't think it did it good. I don't think it did it good. Our services, personalized support, blah blah blah. Okay. It didn't do a good job. It did not do a good job. And go to resources. Okay. Yeah, it didn't do a good job. It didn't even really make sure everything was good on the website. It just kind of did stuff. Like this is I didn't give it any clear instructions, but I just wanted to see what it would come up with. Like what would Antigravity have come up with? And if we want to do a side by side, we can do a side by side real quick of the website before and the website after. Okay, so this is the before. Actually, we'll just open it full. So this is the before. Clear header at the top, sticky nav. Everything is readable. It doesn't look the absolute best, but compared to this one, I mean, I don't see any seniors using this website. And I think that it should have noticed that this site is for seniors. This is my favorite part about what it changed. This right here. This and these. That's it. That's my favorite part about what it changed. So, we are going to reject all of these changes because we don't like any of those. We do not like any of those actually. And we are going to discard all of these as well. Discard all files. Yeah, we don't want any of those. So we got our music. Okay, so we said we wanted to create a tech and futuristic intro jingle for an AI YouTube channel called Aiducate. Okay, so let's listen to this, and I am going to make sure that this is on multi output. Should I have this on multi output? 데이터의 바다를 Ooh, that seems a bit too loud, right? 데이터의 바다를 항해해 미래를 코딩하는 our new face. Because I can't hear it. I'm sorry if you guys just got your ears blasted, but let me fix this. So 데이터의 바다를 항해해 미래를 코딩하는 our new face. 새로운 지식의 빛을 찾아 함께 열어갈 horizon is so wide. Level up your mind, join the revolution. We are your guide to the digital solution. 배움의 미래 educate, a new era, Aiducate. So basically it made like a Korean pop or like a Japanese anime type of song for Educate. That's funny. That's really funny. Let's try out something else. Create music. Create a subtle hip hop beat that can play while a kid is walking to school. Like just a chill, beat. And I know that these generate very, very quickly. So let's go ahead and close out this anti-gravity. Yeah, we're gonna close it out. Yeah, we don't want any of those. This is very, very quickly generating this. It's like less than a minute, I want to say. Defining the music task. I created the subtle hip hop beat for you. me know what you guys think. I like this a lot. This is actually perfectly what I was looking for. A subtle hip hop beat that can play while a kid is walking to school. I like it. All right. So that is the new Gemini 3.1 Pro update. We went over a little bit yesterday of Nano Banana 2, and we also touched on Google Opus, so definitely check out those. We also uploaded our video for Nano Banana 2, and if you guys want to check out the live from yesterday, that is right here.